Alignment is what happens when your desire is honest, your identity is intentional, and your nervous system is quiet enough to hear yourself. Here are my 5 practical hacks to aligning with your highest self. Okay, check this out. If you're chasing validation, the path will always feel forced. But when your wants come from an authentic place, not comparison, not ego, your nervous system relaxes. And that's when things start to flow. If you guys don't know, my name is King Kat, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you have seen any of my previous videos, I'm restructuring the way I show up, the way that my channel is going to be ran, which brings me to the topic at hand, alignment. Because in my whole evolution, I was really struggling to figure out, okay, people know me for hair and makeup. How am I going to start to talk about alignment and consciousness and spirituality? So recently I was on set and it was for a documentary based on health. Okay, so boom, we're waiting for the talent to show up, guys, right? And everyone else outside of the talent is scheduled to be there early. So we just set up and had a little bit of time to lounge around. And the director's wife notices the decor in the den. So I'll just describe it briefly. So what really stood out to her was the coffee table. Instead of the coffee table having one large centerpiece or one focal point, there were an arrangement. There was an arrangement, if you will, of random things that whoever the house belonged to had an affinity for. So I noticed she was looking at it, and and my curiosity wanted to know what sparked her interest. Like, what was she looking at? And she said what I just explained. Immediately, I noticed that on the table was a singing bowl. So I pointed out that their style is called maximalism. And I said, yeah, it's a very maximalist thing to do. It's really cool that they even have a singing bowl. And she said, what's that? And I'm like, I pointed to what it was. And she kind of like, because you know, when you have a singing bowl, it's a bowl and then it has a stick that you use to play the singing bowl. So she started hitting the singing bowl, and I was like, no, this is how you do it. So then I did it, and I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm just like, oh yeah, that was like pretty kind of cool and random, right? So her husband comes over, mind you, he's the director, and he goes, wait, and he hands me the bowl, and he says, do it again, and he pulls out his phone. So I did it again. And then he pans out to himself and he's like, I always love to do a mindful practice on set, during set, or before a set to bring consciousness and togetherness, you know, a sense of bonding to the set, a sense of closeness to the people that you work with in a positive way. And he said, this time, it's coming from Kaat. And I was just like, what? Like, I was like, what? So I just thought it was pretty interesting because I had been asking the universe, I had been asking God, like, how do I merge this part of my business? How do I integrate spirituality and consciousness and I would say self-awareness more than anything into my beauty practice? And it was at that moment, I realized it just is a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, the more authentic you are, the more you will be aligned to the lane that is for you. So, yeah, um, I think we should just get into it. That was like a long story time, but that was really good because it was just so organic, and I had really been genuinely asking from a genuine place. So I'm gonna be using my notes here. All of this came to me as I was driving my son to school. Number one, alignment starts with authentic desire. Alignment doesn't start with signs, it starts with honesty. What do you actually want without comparing yourself to anyone else? That speaks to figuring out what your intent is. Like, what are you intending to do? Like, beyond money, beyond gaining things, what do you want to be known for? What do you want? How do you want to show up in the world? What type of person do you want to be outside of money? Because money manifestation is different and is less sustainable when it doesn't come from a genuine place, right? Because money is fleeting, but purpose is everything, right? And once you find your purpose, then you figure out how to scale it. So, who do you want to be? If you look at yourself and you're like, this is not who I want to be, who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to be known for? Me, I thought I wanted to be a celebrity makeup artist and hairstylist, and to a certain extent, I still do. And I'm still extremely appreciative of the abstract space that I'm in and that I've created for myself to actually monetize my raw talent. But at a certain point, everything in life grows or erodes, right? So at this point in my life, I'm like, who do I like? What else is there, right? What else is there? Alignment doesn't start with signs, it starts with honesty. What do you actually want without comparing yourself to anyone else? The path of least resistance only works when the desire is real. If you're chasing validation, the path will always feel forced. When desire is authentic, your nervous system relaxes. Number two, decide who you're becoming, then act on it. This is powerful. You are not waiting for proof, you are not waiting for applause. You're deciding, who am I becoming? What does she or he do daily? What does this person tolerate? How does this person speak? What does this person stop entertaining? Then you make the shifts to embody that. This is identity embodiment, very elevated. Alignment is small daily agreements with the person you said you want to be or the person you said you're becoming. Alignment is small daily actionable agreements with the person you've decided to be. Clock it. Number three, host a meditative state without romanticizing it. Meditation isn't always silence and incense. Sometimes it's a walk, sometimes it's music, sometimes it's doing your hair in silence. You need space where your brain isn't always reacting, right? You need moments where your subconscious can reorganize. When you silence internal noise, your internal signal gets louder. That is what we call nervous system regulation. When you allow the silence and all of your thoughts to just go and run through, and you're just observing without trying to control your thoughts or judge your thoughts. And when you become so good at observing your thoughts and a thought pops up that you don't recognize and it's positive, it's progressive, that's how you know it's working. Number four, signs don't create alignment, they confirm it. So this speaks to like the whole concept of angel numbers or synchronicities. Like the other day I was driving and I dropped off my son to, well, I was picking up my son and I saw like literally a sliver, like the tiniest piece of rainbow. And I was just like, dude, that is such a sign, right? And already things have been drastically changing in my life toward just being more grounded and more sure. Like, I don't know exactly what's going to happen day by day. None of us do. But at this point in my life, I know that it's going to be awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pumped. So, seeing that rainbow in that moment just reflected what I was already feeling. So that's what I mean by signs don't create alignment, they confirm it. So angel numbers can be another example. I literally see them all the time. And if you're watching this, you probably do too. So instead of saying I saw 777, I'm so aligned, say I noticed signs because I was already moving with intention. That's the power shift. Synchronicities don't lead, they follow. They're feedback, not instructions. Number 5, creativity is problem solving. Creativity isn't just art, it's the ability to solve a problem in a way that didn't exist before. So this speaks to the meditative state. When you are in a meditative state after setting an intention, this allows your creativity to really shine. This is where the genius of who you are really begins to like grow, and you start to tap into the timeless part of the universe that you have intended to align with, if that makes sense. So if then this is not just applied to beauty or creatives, this is literally anything and anyone. You can be an accountant with a new accounting system. You can be an engineer that invents something, or a business owner that creates a new workflow. So alignment fuels creative solutions, because when you're quiet enough to hear yourself, you innovate. That's leadership energy. So in a nutshell, I hope these tips and tricks for alignment have helped in some capacity. I hope that this video wasn't all over the place. I promise I'll do better going forward. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying for our chit chat, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, wait. Bestie, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to make sure that you are notified of all the juicy new uploads, okay? And my name is King Cat, and I'm signing off.